Alan, is Forbidden going to be the first independent bike brand to use the new DJI Avanox motor?
Well, Jamie, it certainly looks that way because Mountain Bikes Canada broke a news story a couple of weeks ago about a new e-Druid and an e-Dreadnought that will launch at Sea Otter. And both of those bikes are reported to be using the new DJI Avanox drive system with custom 600 watt-hour batteries.
That is pretty wild, actually.
It's crazy, and it gets even crazier because Owen Pemberton, who owns Forbidden Bikes, recently posted a photo of a POV photo of himself on social media, and you can clearly see the DJI screen on the bike.
You sure it's not that bike then?
Well, it's definitely not that one because that's my one, right?
No, but the screen, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way he could have been kind of testing that bike, figuring out if that's the motor system he wants to use.
Exactly. I mean, and while that's true, it's kind of weird though. But the original story, it went into so much detail on the bikes. I mean, it even described the new Dreadnought as looking like the Orbea Rise, albeit with a high pivot idler. And if you think about it, that kind of makes sense for Forbidden because there's no way they could package a full power motor and a big battery around their current suspension layout, right?
And it's not the first time they've used a different suspension layout either.
Exactly.
Right? Am I right?
Exactly. So the original Druid and Dreadnought were both single pivot idler designs, and then they created the Supernaut DH bike, which was a high pivot idler design, but an inverted 4-bar. And it's the inverted 4-bar design that they currently use on 2nd gen Druid and 2nd gen Dreadnought.
Okay, Al, be honest, like this can't have been a total surprise out of the blue. Like you must have kind of known something like this was coming, right?
Well, of course I knew they were going to be making e-bikes, right?
It's the way to go.
Because every brand has to make an e-bike if they want to survive. But the rumor I originally heard was that Forbidden were going to use the Fazua Ride 60 system. But given how rapidly the kind of SL e-bike market's changed in the last 12 months because of stuff like this, I mean, maybe they just made a swift about turn.
Yeah. Maybe they just got lucky.
Well, I don't think luck's got to do it. You got to back the right horse, right?
Yeah, but Fazua is owned by Porsche now, right? Do you actually think that's the right fit for like a hardcore brand like Forbidden? I mean, I know it would fit better, physically fit in the bike better because it's more compact, but does it gel with Forbidden? I don't know.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Jamie. I really like the Fazua Ride 60 system.
Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
But given the reliability issues, I could totally see Porsche killing the branding completely to wipe the slate clean and then just relaunching it as a new Porsche brand with all of the improvements. And if they do that, then it might be a bit naff having a Porsche sticker on a Dreadnought. I don't know.
Yeah, which leads me on to my next point. Do you think they need to make an e-Druid and an e-Dreadnought? Like, do they need both those bikes?
That's a good question, Jamie. And I'd say probably not. I think they should just focus on the e-Dreadnought and be done with it.
Okay, why?
Because, I mean, look at YT, for example, I mean, for 5 years, the only e-bike they had was a Decoy.
And it was killer.
Yeah, because it's a 170, 160 bike. It's a long travel bike, right? I mean, they've now got the Decoy SN, but and again, that's a longer travel bike. I just don't think there's a market for a 130, well, not a big market anyway, for a 130 mil travel e-Druid, right? Super niche product. I mean, and maybe the guys at Forbidden like riding those bikes and they'll make it anyway because they're kind of always want to do their own thing.
Yeah, that's true. And then remember when Nuteproof was making its e-bike, they only made one bike.
Yeah, the Megawatt, right? Yeah. Great bike.
And it was really good.
Sold loads of them.
I had one for a while.
Sold loads. We've still got like the SRAM-equipped one here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think definitely like the Dreadnought is a cert. The Druid, I mean, maybe just because they can, or maybe if they make both options, it means they've got better buying capacity. So they buy more systems. Who knows?
Okay, come on, Aldo. You've tested both those bikes. You tested the normal Bio Druid and the Dreadnought. Are you really going to be happy with like 1,000 watts of power going through that little idler? Like it might just wing off and dig into your leg like a ninja star. It's a lot of power going through that thing.
Yeah, of course I'm concerned about it, but at least it'll stop people moaning about idler bikes being draggy, right?
Yeah, you're not going to notice.
I mean, look at the Rocky Mountain Powerplay e-bikes. They actually use an idler driver cog from their motor for the whole system, so it can be done. And I mean, that's maybe not a good example because those bikes weren't very reliable either, right?
And what about the Trek Slash Plus?
Yeah, I mean, that's an idler design enduro bike. But that's got the TQ HPR 50 motor, so it's only got like 300 watts peak power.
Like
and like, is it 50 newton meters of torque going through it? So like they're in safe hands. That's not a DJI motor like blasting through the drivetrain, right?
Yeah, it can handle it. Aren't we jumping ahead a bit? We're assuming that it's going to have the same kind of idler design that the regular Druid and Dreadnought have had. Is that a safe assumption?
I think it is. I mean, it says it in the story, and also it's kind of hard baked into Forbidden's DNA, right?
It's their USP.
But Jamie, we're also making a massive assumption here. So let's assume the original news story is true, and that there is going to be a E-Druid and E-Dreadnought, both with DJI Avinox motors. But what if they're not exactly the same motor that's on the DJI bike, right?
Yeah. I could see that happening, like DJI launching a brand new motor.
Yeah, with a brand new bike, right?
It could happen.
Totally. I mean, it might. We don't even know if it's going to be the same power output, the same size, anything. And the fact that those bikes have got 600 watt-hour batteries, you're going to burn through a 600 watt-hour battery pretty fast if you run that thing in turbo mode, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe it's a lighter weight, lower power motor. Who knows, right?
Yeah, or maybe they've gone more powerful.
Oh my God.
Yep. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens at Sea Otter.
Absolutely. And if you're watching this video and you're the person that leaked this story, or if you know more about it than we do, can you like enlighten everybody in the comments? Because we're just guessing right now.
Yeah. Hopefully whoever wrote that story or found that story at Mountain Bikes Canada is watching. So yeah, get in touch.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.